The Kentucky Horse Racing Commission is in Lexington today, and in the next 15 minutes will determine the next steps for sports betting in Kentucky. A bill which was signed by Governor Andy Beshear back in March gave the green light to legalize, regulate, and tax sports wagering in the Commonwealth. But before you're able to place those bets, the Horse Racing Commission must approve the rules. Beshear's hopes is that those regulations will be in place before the start of the NFL season, and experts think that's a reasonable goal.
I predict there's an 80% chance that we'll have sports betting at retail locations at Kentucky racetracks by the NFL kickoff. From what I'm told, the online portion generally takes longer to launch. There's more back of house technology with the app.
Those we spoke to believe online betting will be available about a month after brick and mortar wagering locations go up. Some tracks have already started partnering with companies to get started. We know Keeneland and the Red Mile have an agreement with Caesars Sportsbook, and Churchill Downs is partnering with FanDuel. Today's regulations meeting begins at 12:15, and Governor Beshear is expected to speak shortly after that at 12:45. We'll keep you updated. Now to an update on a hit-and-run case out of Jeffersonville, Indiana. Lisa Tesh, the woman accused of running over and killing her granddaughter last month, appeared in a Louisville courtroom today and waived extradition to Clark County. Police say on June 16th, she hit and killed her 18-month-old granddaughter, Eleanor Campbell, with her car at the Motel 6 just off I-65 at Eastern Boulevard there in Jeffersonville. Police said surveillance video shows Tesh running over the toddler and then fleeing the scene. According to LMPD, detectives from both sides of the river worked to track her down. Police say they discovered her staying with a family member in the Shawnee neighborhood. Both are now in custody on unrelated outstanding warrants. A Shepherdsville man charged with murder, DUI, and reckless driving after a weekend crash. Police said 27-year-old Jesse Brown was behind the wheel Saturday night driving onto the Snyder ramp off Preston Highway at a high rate of speed. He lost control and hit a concrete wall, and that caused his car to go airborne. His passenger was ejected from the car and later died. A toxicology report revealed Brown's blood alcohol level was .164. That's more than double the legal limit. A public defender was appointed, and Brown remains in jail on $75,000 cash. Take a look at your screen right now. Police in Washington, D.C. say this is the man who killed Oldham County High School teacher Max Emerson. The 25-year-old was shot on the campus of Catholic University last Wednesday. D.C. police are offering a $25,000 reward for information leading to the arrest of the suspect. Meanwhile, the Emerson family is still in the process of planning funeral arrangements. Well, funeral services for a fallen officer are underway right now in Tell City. The goodbyes began around 11 for Sergeant Heather Glenn at Tell City High School. She died in a shootout at Perry County Memorial Hospital last week while responding to a domestic call. The suspect, 34-year-old Sean Hubert, also died in that gun exchange. Following her funeral today, her body will travel in a procession to Greenwood Cemetery. Police are encouraging the public to line that procession to pay their respects. Glenn's death marks the first line-of-duty death for the Tell City Police Department. Right now, the city is in search for its next chief of police here in Louisville, but leaders with Louisville's NAACP, are now calling into question the level of transparency with that search. The mayor's office has said multiple times it plans to keep the process confidential until it's ready to announce the permanent LMPD chief, which is customary for a lot of high-profile positions like school superintendents and university presidents. Our Connor Steffen spoke to the head of the local NAACP to hear more about his concerns.
As the city works to select the next police chief, one poised to lead LMPD through a looming consent decree with the DOJ, Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg's office has said it won't share the names of the finalists in the search. Louisville's NAACP released a statement Sunday, not only calling on Mayor Craig Greenberg to reverse the decision, but to further conduct public meetings and allow residents a chance to meet and question police chief candidates. General counsel for the mayor's office, David Kaplan, said the decision not to release names ensures, quote, the highest quality pool of candidates for chief of police. Greenberg is also requiring all 7 members of the recently announced interview advisory panel to sign NDAs. The panel, composed of various community and state leaders, will help interview police chief candidates. The Louisville NAACP says the move, quote, fosters even more secrecy. The Greenberg administration says, quote, the community has had ample opportunity to have input in the process. That included a public survey, focus groups, and town halls. Still, Louisville's NAACP believes the administration has fallen short of its promised goals for transparency, saying instead, the mayor's office is, quote, peddling misleading and hollow sound bites. Mayor Greenberg has said he intends to announce the city's next police chief by the end of the month. In Louisville, Connor Steffen, WHAS11, on your side.
Now, that statement from the mayor's office also noted a 2010 Attorney General decision which requires Metro government to respect the privacy of candidates who are not chosen for open positions. The AG opinion allows officials to keep certain information from the public under exemptions of Kentucky Open Records Act, but it does not require them to do so. So take a look at the names of those chosen again to serve on the mayor's advisory committee for this new police chief. Director of Pre-Law at Simmons College, J. Michael Brown, State Representative Keturah Herron, Metro Councilwoman Paula McCraney, and JCPS board member Reverend Corey Scholl. Also included is the Director of the Police Foundation, Rebecca Grignon, FOP President Ryan Nichols, and Kungo Jagunya, who is a policy strategist with the ACLU. Happening today, the JCPS board is expected to discuss the new policies it'll implement in response to the passing of Senate Bill 150. The Kentucky legislature passed that bill earlier this year, which bans schools from teaching students about gender expression, sexual orientation, and gender identity. It also allows teachers to ignore a student's preferred pronouns. Last month, the Jefferson County federal judge blocked part of that law, which bans gender-affirming care for those under 18. According to the district's agenda, a committee will begin to review the new policies for implementation tonight at 5 o'clock. New this school year for Indiana families, you'll no longer be charged for school textbooks. This is due to the state's new budget and a law championed by Governor Eric Holcomb. That law was Senate Bill 395. It gives $160 million for curricular materials and requires each Indiana public school to provide books at no cost to the student enrolled. Governor Holcomb supported that bill from the start of the legislation session, even mentioning it as far back as his State of the State address.
Our state's Constitution promises a tuition-free education. Let's cover the full cost of curriculum fees paid for by parents so that folks like Mandy don't have to pay this dreadful bill ever again starting the next school year.
Education advocates say they want more guidance on what counts as curricular material and how much funding each school will receive. That's a big question today. According to a guidance issued by the Indiana Department of Education, schools will receive a lump sum in funds this December.